let's see who's really behind the attack of the 30-foot Shaggy.
Professor Culprit!
I hated to admit it, but I knew it must be the professor. The monster didn't show up until we did. He saw the conflict between the Ancient One and Onodera and used the giant monster legend to frame Shaggy. When Shaggy ate the cursed pizza, Culprit rigged Dogbot to respond to his remote commands and get the sleeping Shaggy away from the action, so we thought he was the monster.
But like why?
Because everything he has should be mine. Why's he rich while I'm just an underpaid high school teacher?
Somebody's favorite high school teacher.
You're a brilliant girl, Velma. You were my prize student, and I used your ingenious invention for my own selfish ends. I'm very sorry.
He would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for those meddling kids.
It's just a great big glider.
Oxygen tanks like the one I found. They must be for breathing in the high altitudes.
Time to reveal our fine-feathered fanatic. It's...
Nobody we know?
You're that mystical shaman.
Actually, Colonel Henry Thorwald, commander of the research site.
Like, were you really checking out outer space life forms on that meteor?
My scientists may have discovered an extraterrestrial breakthrough. It's been kept top secret from even the U.S. government.
So why are you telling us?
Nobody's gonna believe a bunch of meddling kids.
We'll see about that. This can only be one person. The only person who was conveniently absent whenever the Centaur attacked. Major Portsmouth. What? Who's this? We haven't even met her. We don't even know who she is.
She's my assistant, Susie Smythe.
And how was I supposed to know that? No way. Foul. This one does not count.
But why did you do this?
Because the entrance to Atlantis was supposed to be my discovery. I would have been famous if it weren't for you meddling kids.
It's part of the ejector seat system I installed. Pretty styling, huh?
Help! Help! Come on out, Gibby.
Gibby Norton? Like, how'd you know it was him, Velma?
I figured the worm had to be a racer, because it always went after the leader. It wanted to win. My first clue was this piece of worm tooth. It's black glass, like the lunar panels on Gibby's car. Then the worm oozed green stuff, just like the fluid from his radiator.
I didn't want to hurt anyone. I just wanted to impress Velma with my super cool wormmobile.
You mean you did it for me?
Yep. And I would have gotten away with it, if not for you meddling off-the-road racers.
No one?
Well, I guess that makes the only suspect Professor Ostwald. If it wasn't Horatio or the Blather brothers inside the suit, then it had to be the only person who could control Jeeves with the computer.
But the link between his watch and the house went dead when we tried to contact him. Remember? He couldn't have been controlling things inside the house, even if he wanted to.
But like, who else could have done this?
Not who, Shaggy, but what? The culprit is the house itself.
Huh?
You're right, I did it. I trapped the tourists. I had Jeeves rewire the panel. I'm the one who kept you all here.
Why?
Because Laszlo Ostwald took credit for everything. I am the one who deserves the attention. Me! And that's just what I'm going to get, even in spite of you meddling kids!
Oh no! It's got Scooby!
Time to unmask the monster.
Melbourne O'Reilly?
Me? Oh no, not Melbourne. Why, Melbourne, why?
Wish I knew, mate. But it looks like I'm the mummy.
Look!
That guy found the emergency exit!
I'll get the blighter!
Prince Kazel Alpha Mir!
There's a mystic hieroglyphic symbol, pronounced RELP. It must break the trance.
You're a hypnotist.
Wow, Scoob! Your whelp saved our necks!
Scooby-Doo!
Here are 4 words you'd never expect to hear from me. What the heck happened?
Well, you guys weren't really around, so, we had to figure things out. I found this waterworks underneath the Pyramid of the Moon. Pipes and wheels and gauges.
Diverting water from an underground branch of the Nile River, creating the drought in that town.
So the pipeline we saw brought water to the other town's Alcara and success to its cafe.
And all the other businesses there. All probably owned by that Mademoiselle Chantal.
Madame Chantal. She's my wife.
It was all a scheme just to make the two of them rich.
He created zombie slaves to threaten intruders.
Melbourne's dig was probably getting too close, so the prince put him and others under his spell to do his bidding.
Yeah, and I would have stayed that way too, if it weren't for you meddling nippers.
So that explains the creature's jumping ability.
Those dog nappers answered to their boss, the cat creature, or should I say...
This is Meadow, leave a message.
Meadow? But, like, why?
I hired those thugs to snatch Chrissy's pups. I didn't want them to grow up and compete with my precious Milady Moonbeam.
And look! The dog napper sack is just like Meadow's burlap handbag.
I never meant for things to go this far. If it weren't for you meddling kids, the cat creature would have just crept away.
Mr. Meister!
That's easy for you to say.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Penelope Bailey?
Penelope? You're the monster?
I'm afraid she is. Penelope faked being attacked by the monster. But I knew she was lying when we found snack batter in her office, yet not one drop was on her.
That's because Penelope's allergic to Scooby snacks. The hazmat suit was to protect her from getting a rash.
Not to mention, it made her look a lot more menacing.
Well, I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you pestering kids.
That's meddling kids with an M?
But why, Penny? Why do it at all?
I wanted to scare away thieves and protect our secret recipe. I was only looking out for the family business.
Like you got any butter, Scoob? Too bad. 'Cause it looks like we're toast.
Aha!
Careful, my lady.
He's not going to hurt me, are you, Puff? Not as long as I stand in front of this tapestry. Someone who wanted the treasure of Glasborough Castle would never burn the treasure map.
What would a dragon want with treasure?
The dragon doesn't want the treasure. The good Sir Lancelot does.
Huh? No, make haste. You'll be, roasted alive.
You've been using this high-tech robotic dragon to scare people away from the castle, so you could find the treasure.
I did it, okay? I did it! Just get me out of here!
Like, what's with the light show?
His motion control suit of armor is short-circuiting.
That's how he controlled the dragon.
It was all leftover stuff from his TV show. When the dragon burned the tent at the feast, I thought I smelled something funny. It was kerosene. That's because the dragon's fire came from flamethrower tanks. Tanks marked GS for Glasborough Studios.
But like why? He's a big TV star.
After my show was cancelled, the only work I could get was these stupid Renaissance fairs. I deserve that treasure. I mean, please, I'm Lancelot. I would have gotten it too, if not for you meddling medieval kids.
You did it, Scoob! You trapped the San Fran weirdo!
Rudy Banyas?
Like, why would such a big fan of Ryan be trying to knock him out of the competition?
That was my biggest clue. The San Fran Psycho never actually went after Ryan. She went after everyone else.
I have to give you meddling kids perfect scores. I admit it, okay? I wanted to sabotage the games because they wouldn't let me compete. But I would never scare Ryan. He's my idol.
So it was the judge? That's freaky.
Becoming a judge was the only way I could join the games, since girls aren't allowed.
What? Girls compete? Amanda, Zoe ripped it yesterday.
Well, then you tell me why they wouldn't let me in. Wait, I can get this. Seriously, I'm good.
Like I think you might need some practice.
Say 10 to 20 years of it.
Let's just see who's slithering under those scales.
The diving suit. This must be that shivering sergeant.
More likely it's...
Monroe Hopper?
This is one fish story that's worth hearing.
So Dr. Zola thought of everything, including a fish creature to scare people away while we froze his brain and body until the next century.
I knew that thing was human from the moment I found your air hose.
Do you expect us to believe Dr. Zola actually wanted you to shove him under the ice?
There's a depth of water in Antarctica that's the coldest in the entire world, preserving him as no cryogenics could. So he might share his brilliant plans for the future with the future.
Unbelievable. That's what I say. Huh? So this is the world of the future. It's not at all what I expected. The clothes and the people so much like ours in the far past, yet so different. You, sir, do you speak my language?
Like no problem, dude.
I didn't think so. I wonder how long I've been frozen.
About 3 days.
What? Hopper, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry to say, sir, the experiment failed because of them.
You mean you kids would dare to meddle with the future of mankind?
Well, if the shoe fits. That's it! I know who's behind this. Follow me. If my hunch is right, it's...
Marcy? I knew it. Anyone who wears that much eyeshadow is bad news.
Marcy, why would you do something like this?
You're a corn princess, for goodness sake.
Why? Why? Do you have any idea what today is?
Of course, dear. It's Halloween.
And my birthday, Mother! How would you like it if your birthday was completely overshadowed every year of your life?
When Daphne asked who would want to upstage Halloween, I realized it had to be Marcy, whose birthday gets upstaged every year. That's when I remembered the video of her at the mall.
I knew it. I knew that wasn't her.
No, it was her. But I remembered seeing the glove we found in the water tower in the background of the footage.
I just wanted to scare everyone and ruin Halloween so I'd never have to play second fiddle to that dumb holiday again.
Marcy learned how to build the scarecrows and remote control in her electrical engineering class at school. She used them to create the patterns in the fields, foretelling the return of Hank Banning like the legend predicted.
This is all our fault. I can't believe we let a holiday come before the birthday of our own corn princess.
Well, seeing as how no one was hurt, I think we can arrange for Marcy to make up for this with community service.
Well, Marcy, I hope you've learned a lesson from all of this. I know I have. So who do I talk to about getting paid?